Hey, good morning. I'm late today. I hope you didn't notice. I get going on my email and then I look up and I'm like, oh no, it's past 9:30. All right. So, happy Wednesday. We are having another rainy, chilly day in Texas. And I just looked at the 15-day forecast and we are not going to get out of the 60s, which is so unusual. We're having an actual real fall right now. And I personally am really excited about that because in October, we're kind of up and down and all over the place. It can be super hot one day. It's usually humid. We do get a little bit of rain, which makes the humidity hang around. But I am really happy because I'm like busting out the sweaters. I've got the Christmas music on. I've got my candles lit. I am just like in fall heaven right now. And Aubrey was home for fall break over the weekend, so she baked something different every single day. The first day she made pumpkin bread, yum. The second day she made my kryptonite, which is dark chocolate sea salt toffee. We're still eating that. Craig and I sat down last night with a container of it on the couch. She made pumpkin scones, which are another irresistible thing to me. I love all things scones. And then she baked another loaf of pumpkin bread. So she was home for 4 days and did lots of baking while she was here. Took her back last evening. I'm like, okay, you are undoing all of my Orange Theory workouts here. But anyway, it was awesome having her home for a few days and a little preview of what Thanksgiving break is going to look like. She and I both love baking and cooking, and I'm sure it'll be a nonstop baking and cooking fest in the kitchen, and decorating. We'll be decorating too. So when do you put up your Christmas decorations? I do mine usually, sometimes I do them right before Thanksgiving because we usually host everybody and have them over, and we don't have big gatherings at Christmas, so I want to have all my Christmas stuff up for Thanksgiving. I know that bugs a lot of people, but I love Christmas. I can't help myself. But I do have my Thanksgiving stuff up now, so I'm kind of like a month ahead all the time. I don't really do much Halloween decorating. I do fall decorating, but I don't do Halloween. So anyway, on to today's topic. I get fascinated by behind the scenes kinds of stuff. Like maybe I'm nosy. I love seeing things about people's lives and getting peeks behind the scenes of businesses. And so I thought it'd be fun for me to share a little bit behind the scenes stuff on a regular basis of blogging and running GYPO and Alison and Aubrey, all of that good stuff. So today I thought a good topic, and I talked about this a little bit in today's blog post. So if you've gone to get your pretty on already, you've probably read a little bit about this. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about brand influencer collaborations, which is a really fancy way for bloggers to say when we work with retailers, and they generally compensate us for that. So you've probably noticed that I don't do a lot of sponsored content compared to some other bloggers, and there are a few reasons for that, which I'm going to get into, and talk to you a little bit more about the J. Crew Factory collaboration that I'm doing this month. So I'm a featured influencer on their site, which I announced last week, which I am like over the moon excited about because I love the brand so much. But the one thing that I listed in today's blog post about why this is significant to me is that you're not seeing a lot of over 40 influencers who are getting brand opportunities. So I think it's really awesome when a brand recognizes that we are not represented much and decides that they're going to collaborate with a blogger that's over 40. So that's one of the reasons why this one was so special to me. But I'm going to get a little bit more into what a brand influencer collaboration is. So what happens is a retailer comes to a blogger and says, hey, we like what you're doing on Instagram or on your blog, or we feel like, your audience is a good demographic for what we do, and we would like to do some kind of sponsored content with you. So that can either be blog posts, Instagram posts, Facebook. Sometimes they'll have you do video for them, but there's a lot of different ways that you can collaborate with retailers, and it's usually a win-win. I mean, we get compensated for creating content around what they're doing, and they get exposure to our audiences, which is cool, right? Yes. So that's the way it generally works. And sometimes we do things with them and don't get compensated. We do it because they're offering to give us exposure of some kind, which is also awesome. But it's just really a great way for them to get in front of our audiences and for us to create content specifically for them. A lot of times they will approach us through an affiliate program that we're already members of. A lot of us are members of Reward Style, which I'm sure you guys see the Reward Style links everywhere. But sometimes they come direct to us too, which is also really cool, because then they're like seeing us on Instagram or whatever and saying, oh, I feel like this blogger would be a great fit for our brand, which is what actually happened with J. Crew Factory. So I was even more excited about that because they identified it through a different route instead of just coming through, oh, this brand or this blogger is selling a lot for us through their affiliate links already, so we're going to target them. So this one was a little bit different in that regard. But anyway, that's generally how things work. So whenever we do partner with a brand, you'll see something in our blog posts that says at the bottom, usually we have to do an FTC disclosure to let you guys know, so that you know we're not just saying, oh, wow, I love this brand and I love these pieces, but they're not paying me anything to say this, but they are paying us to say it. And we do have to disclose that, and that's the right thing to do. So you'll see a little blurb in the blog post that says, this post is sponsored by blah, 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 or whatever, but we are required to let you know that. We are also required on our social media to use a hashtag that says sponsored or ad or something like that. So anytime you see that, then you also know that this is something that the brand has paid for. And on Facebook specifically, we have to mark it as branded content. So what you have to do in that case is, like, if you don't already do it, then Facebook will send you an email and say, hey, you need to mark this as branded content. And then the brand has to approve it so that it shows up as something that's branded on Facebook. So anyway, a lot of information. Don't know if you're interested in all that, but like I said, I'm fascinated by facts and information. So I like to share as much as possible. So that's basically how it works. Sometimes they just have us do one post. Sometimes there's a series of blog posts that we do. But another reason why, and I talked about this a little bit in my blog today, why this is so special to me is because I do not get a lot of brand opportunities. And there are a few reasons for that. Number one, I already mentioned I'm an over 40 influencer, which may or may not factor much into that. I don't know. I'm sure there are other bigger factors. You know, sometimes I take I don't want to say lazy route, but I take the real route, and I just do selfies in the mirror of my outfits. I don't always have elaborate photo shoots planned. It doesn't always work for my life. Craig is my photographer. He travels a lot. So, you know, when he's home on a Saturday and we're just wanting to chill out and get stuff done, like go for grocery shopping or whatever, and spend some family time together, shoving a blog photo shoot into our day is not always feasible. So sometimes I have to do, necessity is, calls for me doing selfies in the mirror. And I could hire a photographer. Yes, that's definitely an option. I have looked into that before. But again, it's just something that when I want to do a real shoot, I just make sure that Craig's available, because he actually enjoys doing it. And it's something that we kind of do together and do as a family at times. The girls are with us too. So we do have a little bit of fun with that. But I think that's one of the reasons why influencers aren't particularly drawn to GYPO all the time, because I don't always have the beautifully curated photos that that they want to see on Instagram. So whenever I do get these opportunities, it feels really special to me, because early on in my blogging career path, I chose a different path. I could have gone down the path that a lot of influencers go down, to show you new things all the time on the blog, and therefore make a lot of money through affiliate links. But I realized early on that that wasn't going to work for me, because number one, I don't shop a lot, and I didn't want to be out shopping constantly. Here's a little secret for you. Retailers are okay for the most part with bloggers buying things and returning them. But to me, that feels like a lot of work. I don't want to have to keep up with that, like showing things on the blog and then taking them back all the time. It reminds me of an episode of A King of Queens, where Carrie went out and was like buying all this stuff at stores, and she figured out what the return policies were for each different store. And she had this whole rack of clothes, and she had this spreadsheet that she was working off of, and having to return stuff all the time. And I just don't have time for that. That's not going to happen. So I made the decision early on that I was going to shop my closet, show you ways to pair up my clothes, and that was going to be my blogging model. And that's what worked great for me. But the thing about that is a lot of bloggers who started at the same time as I did 6 years ago went the other path with the affiliate sales and showing you new things to buy all the time. And they blew past me. So, you know, it was, I'm not going to say that didn't bother me. It still does on some level, but it just didn't work for me. So you don't see tons of new stuff on my blog or tons of affiliate links on my blog. I show you the things that I'm actually wearing in real life. I show you the things I actually buy in real life. I don't have a lot of clothes. And that's why the Style Challenge works better as a business model for GYPO, because I feel like as a result of blogging that way, I have brought in a tribe of women who also feel that way, and that's their philosophy, and they're not out looking for new things to buy all the time. And I know there are exceptions to that, and there are plenty of blogs out there where you can do that, and I read some of those blogs occasionally just to see what they're putting out there, but for the most part my model is a little bit different. So yeah, I think that's hurt me in brand opportunities, because obviously brands want you to be selling stuff for them, right? I also think it's hurt me in followers because I haven't grown as quickly. It turns out that a lot of people do want to see new stuff all the time, but I have a smaller but really, really loyal following, which I would not trade for anything in the world. Definitely not for those big followings. I'm happy where I am right now. If I weren't, then I would be looking into a different business model. So I'm perfectly content where GYPO is, and it's personally way more fulfilling to me. And I like that I can be authentic and people accept that, because early on in blogging, I was like, people aren't going to read this. They're not going to be interested in this. So it was a conscious decision and a bit of a risk. But I've also found that when you're being real and being yourself and being authentic, that's what's really going to connect with people. And so the GYPO tribe is seriously the nicest, kindest, most supportive group of women on planet Earth. And we see that season after season in our Style Challenge Facebook groups. So I don't regret for a minute going down that path. That's for sure. Okay, so yeah, it has hurt in followers. It's hurt in income. Affiliate links make money. And when you have a huge following, you're making lots of money off those affiliate links. I know several bloggers who are over $1 million a year. Yes, that's not a mistake. They make over $1 million a year. And you're probably looking at me and saying, so you chose not to go down that path because, again, that did not work for me early on. And more power to them. I know that it's hard work, and I can't even imagine, like I said, keeping up with the shopping and the featuring the new outfits constantly would be exhausting, and I just don't have that in me anymore. Maybe in my 20s I would have had that in me, but I just don't now. So anyway, yeah, so it's the different path has definitely paid off for me in a lot of ways, in ways that are not monetary necessarily, but in ways that feel right to me. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, is if it feels, I don't know, I'm like a gut instinct type of person, and things have to hit me here in the right way. So anyway, the third reason why this is significant to me is because it's a brand I love. J. Crew Factory is a brand I shop at. I think they have a great mix between quality and affordability. I have to be passionate about the brands that I collaborate with. And honestly, I turn down way more stuff than I accept. I get emails on a daily basis about product reviews or trying out skincare or doing this or doing that or whatever. And I learned early on that I had to be picky and can't accept everything that comes along, because number one, you're not going to trust me anymore if I'm doing that all the time and accepting opportunities from anybody who's going to throw some money my way. And number two, I have to have passion. I have to love the brand. I have to have respect for them. I have to actually use what they are offering, because again, it comes back to this authenticity thing, because you guys are going to know, you're going to know right away if I'm not connecting with something that I'm talking about. It's going to come through to you whether I realize it or not. So when I'm able to be really authentic about what I'm talking about on the blog or in my social media, then that's a win-win. It's a win-win for me, for the brand, for you. It's a win-win-win. So that's kind of my philosophy on all of that. But anyway, yeah, if you have any questions ever about blogging, about business, about what goes on behind the scenes. Like, I'm an open book. I'm pretty much an open book on everything. I will give you more information than you probably ever wanted or needed to know. But I'm happy to do that. So please let me know if you ever have any questions, and your questions help me come up with future coffee chats. So please, please do that for me. Now I'm going to show you something I did buy yesterday. On the way back to Fort Worth last night when I was taking Aubrey back to school, she said, I have no clothes to wear this week. It is going to be cold out. And I said, okay, we need to fix that. So we popped into H&M for a few minutes, and she found 2 sweaters and 2 pairs of jeans that were really cute. And then I was walking in, and one of the things that the GYPO Pretties and in our private fall Facebook group, one of the topics that keeps coming up is about flare jeans and baby boot cut jeans. And I walked into H&M yesterday, and I saw this pair of jeans, and I was like, I'm really struggling with this, okay? And I think it's because I wore flares and boot cuts for so long. And it seems to me like any trend that comes back around again is so much harder to swallow than it does when you're younger and you're wearing it for the first time. So I saw this really cute pair of mini flare jeans, and they were a little wider than I wanted them to be, and I wasn't even gonna try them on. But then Aubrey went to the fitting room. I'm like, oh, what the heck? I'm gonna be in there anyway, so I'm gonna try these on. So I grabbed these jeans, which they're kind of a higher waist, and they're a little bit more flared at the bottom than I probably would have chosen. And I tried them on, and then I fell in love because they're super flattering. And that's why I loved flares and boot cuts to begin with. I am more of a pear shape. I have wider hips. I wear a full size larger on bottom than on top. And these jeans are super flattering on my body type. So I've challenged myself, and they're only $19.99. So I'm like, okay, I'm out $20 if I don't wear them a lot. And I'm going to try this trend. I'm going to challenge myself to pair them up and find some ways that I can wear them. I think they look adorable with ankle boots. So I'll definitely be wearing them with those, and they make your legs look longer. But I'm going to do a blog post and pair these up and show you some different ways to wear them. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. If you want to see me pair them up with something, I would be happy to do that. But I'm kind of excited about them. I'm not going to lie. I got this green sweater too that I think is going to look really cute with them. So I will pair that up and show you guys some outfit ideas. All right, so that's all I got for today. I will be back here tomorrow. And again, if you have any questions or coffee chat suggestions for me, I would appreciate those. Let me know. Thanks. Have an awesome day. Bye.